Welcome to the WJBM Outdoors Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. Joining us today, world catfishing champion of the world, Mr. Kyle Neuhaus. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, glad to be on again.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have a local celebrity and Jiu-Jitsu champion in the building.
Oh, yeah. Good to be here.
We had a good time on Saturday night. Little celebration going on. Crushed a few cold ones.
Yeah, happy birthday, Quillen, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And we were going to go fishing. The weather wasn't looking too prime for that. Had these storms coming in. And then, dude, Lauren and I got absolutely hammered by the storm coming back.
Yeah, so did we.
Yeah. And, I mean, me having had multiple soda pops, I'm like, oh, it's all right. You're doing so great. And the rain was so bad, she was just like, shut it.
Wasn't having it.
Right. But thank you, babe, because you got us home safe. And when we woke up the next morning, there was quite a bit more rain than even I realized as we were getting there in it.
Yeah, I think we got about 5 inches, but over in Jerseyville, Carrollton area. How much you guys getting Hardin area?
Well, so at 7:30 in the morning, I was supposed to go meet with some landowners, talk about food plots going into their new CRP, and I was 10 minutes late, and I hooked up to Wi-Fi in the driveway and called, and I was like, I can't get there.
Right.
It was definitely larger than gravel. They were big rocks in the road. I was like,
oh yeah, when it gets washed out in Calhoun, start seeing chunks of mountain floating across the road.
It went under, in this spot, it went under the blacktop and bubbled the blacktop off. So you had no idea what was under there.
I think I seen some footage of that on Facebook, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there to kind of show it. I don't know if Calhoun got hit the worst, or I don't know, but the landowner was saying that their rain gauges poured over.
Yeah.
And what he was seeing was about 8 inches. Mm-hmm. And then, online what he was seeing, and then maybe even St. Louis or parts of St. Louis had 10. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it was the worst flash flooding.
Yeah. That was a bad one.
Yeah. And was it a year ago we had a flash flood?
I think it came up, in the spring maybe.
Yeah. Yep. This was worse.
Oh, okay.
And so the pond on the farm blew out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. The best I can tell, I haven't walked over there, but the best I can tell, it's probably about 7 feet gutted.
Okay.
It's a pretty deep pond, so I don't know. There will still be fish in there, but
I don't know if there's any hope or not.
We're going to have to do something that's going to have to dry out. Yeah. But the last time we had flash flooding like that, something really interesting, you were out in the street rescuing the fish from your pond.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I wasn't so much rescue him as I was catching him, but yeah, I mean, I threw him back in the pond, I guess.
So, one thing that we noticed from that was that the fish that came out because of the flooding, that it gave the fish in the pond more room to grow.
Right.
So I'm really curious to see, if we're able to save the pond, or, did your pond go over?
It did.
Okay.
It went over again. I mean, you'll lose some fish doing it, but seems like, that's all part of it, though. I mean, the ones that stay in there, there's going to be more room for them. They're going to grow bigger, just kind of the way it goes, hopefully.
Right. I'm curious to see what actually happens there. And then, so now the rivers are jumping way up. Mm-hmm. I saw the Illinois and Hardin's coming to around 24 feet.
Yep.
And then I was just out at BRBF grabbing a bucket of ice, and they are the river's up pretty big there in the Mississippi.
Yeah.
So what do you think that's going to do to like the catfishing right now?
Well, I would say anything that was spawning. I'd say it was about time where blue cats and things were moving off the spawn. But when something big like that happens, and your creeks and all those shallow areas where they're spawning are just going to get washed out, and so they're going to be kicked off their spawn, and they're going to be active and looking to feed, I would assume. But where is the question. I would say usually when the water comes up like this, as it's going up and as it stays level like that, I'd say they'd be hitting the shallows, hitting the banks. That's why people like to use the bank poles and stuff when the water starts creeping up in the creeks. Because the smaller fish are hitting the worms that are getting submerged in the bank, and then the big catfish are going along the edges hitting those fish. So
Yeah.
Usually you're looking at back in the creeks, or on the banks, the more shallow flats, things like that, out of that current, out of that junk, and just off into the shallows a little bit more. So hopefully where they'll be going for the next week or so. But as the water goes back down, they're going to everything's going to shoot right back out to the deep and make sure it's safe and doesn't get strained except for carp, and they'll get stuck. They always do.
Right.
Yep, and that's how a lot of the bow fishermen get lucky, actually.
Yeah, that is very true. Which that was something pretty radical that we got to do recently.
Yeah, I'm glad you invited me on the bow fishing trip. That was my first and second time ever going.
Yeah. Well, so we did the radio show on it. We had Jason and Tom and Tommy come in and talk about it, but yeah, Tommy's he's a bow fisherman.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And we'd been talking about that for years, me and Jason, because they shoot a Caseville, Michigan carp tournament. That's like kind of a big tournament that they do up there on the Saginaw Bay. So that would be like Huron. And we've been talking about it for years. And I always thought that, all right, we got to time it out when there's a flood. I was thinking about going out to the 195, where it floods up, and then we're always seeing fish out there, and that's how we do it. Well, we kind of got sick of waiting on a flood, and then we kind of realized, wait, Tom's goal was new species. So like the Asian carp,
Common carp.
Yeah, common
I got
carp.
a video of him shooting his first common.
Yeah. And I guess we got different gar here. Mm-hmm. So that was a new species for him.
Short-nosed gar, probably.
Yeah. And yeah, so we ended up just doing it. And I was like, Kyle would love this.
Yeah.
So
that was fun. We got a lot more the second trip, right? The first trip, I think one guy shot all the fish, right?
Yeah, that'd have been you. That'd have been you.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah. After that, you were like, I want this bow.
Yep.
But that's something that I learned is the poundage means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I'm starting to see a lot more videos on, like, I guess Instagram pop up of people doing some of this bow fishing, and they're doing just that. They're holding back, and I think your regular fishing bow is at like 35 or 40 pounds, and the one that you were using was probably at like 20.
Yeah, wasn't a lot.
So holding it back, yeah. I mean, obviously you have to be a crack shot, and you said you used to do a bunch of stuff growing up.
Yeah, I used to shoot bows a lot, the smaller bows and stuff. We used them for frog gigging.
Yeah.
Things like that, yeah.
All right, yeah. So you were made for this.
Yeah, being able to shoot one of those smaller bows like that was kind of up my alley, I guess. Been a while since I've done it, but even still, though, trying to hold one back forever is a little tricky. What I was doing is I would kind of anticipate whether I thought this was going to be a good spot we were coming up on or not. I'd wait for one to jump, and then I'd pull.
Okay.
And then if a second jump, then I'd shoot.
All right. Yeah, I've learned so much about these, like, fish that I didn't even know, just through the experience of because it seemed like they're hanging out on the bank.
Right.
And then the vibration of the motor, they're,
Gets them irritated and they attack the boat. I don't know.
they come swim next to the boat and you can see the ripple almost. It's like a little bit of a trained eye to see it, but then, yeah,
they'd charge the boat. Some of them would jump up into the boat. Some would just hit the boat and bounce off. I mean,
what about
never knew.
the one that jumped and landed in the fish barrel?
Yep.
that was efficiency.
Oh yeah.
But another thing that was really cool about that is usually when you try and record something, it takes a little bit of practice with I call it the body cam, but you had a GoPro. Was it mounted to your chest?
I was going to use that one, but it looked like the string was going to interfere with it, so I put it on my head.
Oh, all right.
It had a head mount GoPro.
Dude, that worked awesome.
Yeah, got some good footage.
Yeah, man. It's the one clip that you sent me where you shot it basically in the head, midair.
Yep.
I mean,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's like going golfing and getting that drive,
Yep.
you know?
I was like, oh, tell me that the camera's on.
Right?
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoors Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. And joining us, if you're just tuning in, world catfishing champion of the world, man of many trades, Jiu-Jitsu, samurai swords, and just overall being a great guy, Mr. Kyle Neuhaus. So we were just talking about some of the cool bow fishing stuff we got to do, a little bit about this crazy weather that we just had, but you had a pretty interesting opportunity to take off for a little while and go do some work in the islands.
Yeah, that was, let's see, back in 2017, I think it was October, Hurricane Irma came through. Maybe it was September. Hurricane Irma came through, and it went through the Caribbean, down by Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and kind of leveled all that, and then hit Florida. Well, I was posted up in Orlando when the hurricane came through with a company that does mostly storms.
Mm-hmm.
And right as soon as it cut through, I was hoping we'd have the day off or something to kind of let the wind tame down, but no, we headed south and went down to Miami and worked for a month, came home, went right back to work, and then I got a call from another storm company saying, hey, we're going down to the Virgin Islands if you'd like to go. And, said it should be about 3 months. And normally chasing storms are never guaranteed, time like that. So, I took it and went down there and ended up turning into a big FEMA-funded deal, spread out to, they say this could be years. We're not sure, but basically they wanted to do all fiberglass poles on the island, heavily reinforced with guy wires and anchors, heavy wire, just overkill on everything, and guarantee that it could not, a hurricane couldn't blow it all down. So material was coming in slow. So with that, they went down on manpower and just made the duration longer. And said, well, if we only have to have 20 guys working for the next 6 years to accomplish this, then that's what we'll do. And basically that's what we did. So I ended up staying there until 2023, I think. I got to come home, and that's when it was done. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of done building power lines. Work around here for linemen isn't quite the same as it was when I left. And now I'm kind of getting away from that. But when I was down there, though, the only thing that I didn't like was I didn't get a fish. I didn't get a catfish. I didn't get but I did have friends who had fishing charters. I got to do a little bit of fishing out in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And the closest I got to come to catfishing was pretty cool. I wish you could have come there and did this one with me, but we'd go shark fishing.
Yeah.
And we'd find a dock, usually one of the national park docks. And you start off, you go with a bag of shrimp and one of your smaller rods, catch you a bait fish, go live or go cut, cast it out, just like you would a catfishing rig waiting for a bite. And if it takes off, what I kind of learned is if it takes off and you don't have a chance of steering it or getting it back,
Yeah.
it's probably a big ray.
Oh, okay.
Because any other fish, like a shark or catfish, anything, you hook it in the mouth.
Yeah.
You can then steer its head back to you and have moments where you gain on it.
Yeah.
Before it turns around and starts fighting back. Well, with a ray, there's none of that. It just picks a direction. It goes as fast as it can, and you just hold on to your string's gone. Or if it's small enough to where you can muscle it back, you got him. But even a small one could put up one heck of a fight.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What now? How big do the rays get down there?
Oh, very big. Very big. Man, I forgot what they call their one of their bigger rays. That it's a little bit more rare, but you'd see them down there.
Okay.
Eagle ray.
Okay.
An eagle ray and spotted eagle ray.
All
and
right.
you find them in the vegetation areas where you'd find sea turtles near grass patches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those rays would just, like I said, it looks like a spacecraft. It would just go from 0 to 60, just
Really?
just gone. Yeah.
And those things are just shaped. They're shaped kind of like a stealth
Like
bomber.
a saucer. Yeah. Just boom. I mean, they're gone when they take off. It's crazy.
No doubt. Mm-hmm. That's wild. So I wonder what those things weigh.
Ooh, I couldn't tell you. Probably pretty dense little plate there,
I know. We need a Jamie. Somebody can look that up for us.
Yeah, take a look. Yeah, no, we had did a lot of shark fishing though. We caught a lot of sharks. I mean,
yeah. What kind did you catch?
Nurse sharks. Let's see, nurse sharks. I can't remember what else we even really had down there, but nothing too aggressive. We didn't have hammerheads or great whites or nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was all, they're all pretty tame.
All right. I took a trip to the Bahamas one time, and I'm officially scared of sharks now.
Okay.
Those white-tipped, whatever the white-tipped shark is down there, apparently, like, back in the olden days, like, shipwreck happened and stuff, they were the reason that the crewmates didn't survive.
I gotcha.
They are just, I can't get that out of my head.
Knowing that they will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm officially 100% afraid of sharks.
Yep. No, I've never had I didn't do any scuba diving down there, but I did a lot of free diving and stuff. And, I came close to a lot of sharks. They didn't bother me. Barracudas, they would kind of side-eye you,
Okay.
And I just kind of avoid those guys.
Right.
But, yeah, no, nothing down there is too crazy. The eels would come out. If you got near an eel hole, they would come out. And actually, we caught some eels down there, too. That was good bait. If you casted a shrimp or something out or a piece of cut bait, an eel come out of the hole. If you could rip it out of its hole, it was they were mean and they'd try to bite you. But that was good cut bait, though.
Really?
Uh-huh.
How big's an eel?
Oh, they get up to like 3 foot, maybe.
Really?
Yeah. We caught ones, up to 1.5 foot at least.
And so, do they have gills? How do they breathe?
I think they got little gills.
Okay.
I couldn't really tell you. They come out of the hole and they just look angry. They got teeth and they look angry.
All right. With some of the with some of the charter stuff, what do you catch down there?
You can catch grouper, snapper, mahi, tuna. My first time going out was with a friend who had a boat, and we went and picked up a charter captain who had his own setup, and we kind of did it off hours, on a Sunday when everyone was off work. And we went out and we ended up trolling around, and you're looking for birds, you're looking for something floating, that kind of stuff. And we ended up going past a bunch of stuff floating in the water, and then you hear drag ripping, and we ended up reeling it in, and it was a mahi. Nice. And so I don't know if you ever experienced this, but once you catch a mahi, if it's with a school, you leave it on, and then you start pulling out all the other little spinning rods and just putting squid on or whatever and casting out and just ripping as many as you can because they won't leave that one. And you can do it until they're onto your bait. And then what we did was this guy's like, well, that's all we got. So he left and he dinged it for his buddy, and his buddy came through with a live bait and picked the rest of them up.
Really?
Yeah, he said if we would have stayed there for too long, we would have just pushed our luck with it.
Okay.
But by doing that, he kind of helped his buddy out. And,
All right.
yeah.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, his buddy ended up getting with us afterwards and gave us some tuna that they had caught, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. Mahi's good, man.
Oh yeah. They had mahi down there everywhere that you could eat, and I was actually at one of the restaurants down there. They call it the Lime Inn.
Okay.
And I was sitting there at the bar. They gave us meals, as linemen. I'm
Yeah.
down there eating my dinner, and they come walking through with a swordfish. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And they came walking through, and I think it was a swordfish. I couldn't tell you, but it, some kind of big, intimidating fish. And it come through, and it was still alive, and they walked right past me with it through the restaurant. I was like, no way.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. That's way cool.
Pretty fresh down there, yeah.
Okay, so it's official. You're back since 2023.
Yep.
You've been getting your catfishing in because we're still representing at the World Catfishing Championship of the world.
Yep.
You've been spoonbilling like a madman.
Yeah, tried to hit every spoonbill season for the past few years. Me and Moose have went several times.
Yeah.
Going down to Lake of the Ozarks, and last year when we went, we pretty well had it figured out as far as the way that we did it. We were trolling and snagging, but we had friends that they had the LiveScope, and they were LiveScoping. Two different techniques,
Yeah.
And but basically, come spoonbill season, it's mid-March to the end of April, and that's when they migrate, and they'll go from the main lake of the Ozarks. They'll run up to the dam at Truman,
Yeah.
and that's where they'll spawn, and then they'll turn around and come back. Well, the last 2 miles before the dam, you're not allowed to snag spoonbill there.
Okay.
That's, they're all going to be concentrated there, so you got to do it somewhere before that. Well, you basically got to find where they're at in that migration.
Yeah.
And then you go out there, use your electronics, and really you don't have to, because if you go out there, you're going to see the other boats. And
Yeah.
you're going to,
okay.
So you can go look for yourself, but wherever those other boats are, that's where the fish are.
Right. Those
And-
are some wild looking fish, man.
Yeah, they're good eating too.
Yeah. What now? With a spoonbill, they're a plankton feeder.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, there's no bait that they'll eat.
No.
The only way you can catch them is through snagging.
Through snagging them, yeah. And Ameren actually owns the dam there at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And I believe that they did something where they accidentally took out some fish on accident. Well, their way of repaying it was by giving a bunch of this spoonbill back into the water, for the sake of all the snaggers, because it's become quite a sport in the area. A lot of people have been coming around for spoonbill snagging, and I mean, a big part of it is you get to keep the fish, and it's you're talking about 60. You get to keep 2 fish a day, and on average, a keeper is 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get to leave with a big cooler full, So it's people are starting to go there for it, and I mean, it's the way that I fill my cooler up with fish right off the bat, and then I don't clean another fish all summer.
Right.
Nope.
And it's like, to me, it's kind of like it's got like flaky qualities, but
Yeah.
it's also got like some steaky qualities.
Yep, it's I do like it. It's different, kind of like how you would explain tuna is different than regular fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of the spoonbill, kind of its own texture, and a lot of people like to smoke it because it's just a big meaty fillet.
Yeah.
And rather than frying it, where it doesn't really get a chance to kind of soften up, you're just kind of
Okay.
frying it. It might be
Yeah.
a little more on the chewy side than regular fish, but if you smoke it, I like to air fry it.
Okay.
Things like that. It'll really fill you up. And by smoking it, if you smoke it a little bit longer, that kind of preserves it a little bit too,
Yeah.
You can kind of treat it like jerky or something, throw it in a Tupperware and take it with you and just eat it throughout the day, and it's not going to go bad,
Right.
Yeah. No, it's been pretty fun. And then me and Moose got LiveScope for this year. So
Okay.
we went out and didn't pull dipsy divers. We didn't drag or jerk the our rods with hooks. We ended up getting on the LiveScope, and you got your screen, and you're basically going around on a flat, and you're looking for a fish, and you can kind of tell by the size of the fish once you get calibrated.
Okay.
How big they are.
Yeah.
If it's a keeper, if it's, towards the end of the day, you're just trying to put one on, be like, all right, that's probably a keeper, let's take it. But if it's early in the day and you're looking for a big one, you can kind of zero in on them, and we did pretty good our first time doing it by ourselves, but we ended up calling our buddy who's a 19-year-old guide down there.
Okay.
And he jumped on the boat.
All right.
And like to say I was humbled, but I knew it was going to happen. He jumped on and he showed us how it was done.
Okay.
And he had us on fish so quick.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and as far as he's concerned, the advertising was just him driving around, smoking all these fish, putting them on our boat.
Yeah.
Everyone there on their boat knew who he was.
Okay.
And was saying, hey, come over, hop on our boat when you're done. We got some questions about our electronics, or, we can't catch any fish or whatever. And he'd hop on with them for 15 minutes, and he'd be like, you guys got this, right? And we're like, yeah, we're good. He'd hop on, and he'd get them all lined out. They'd give him a little cash, and he'd hop back on our boat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then he put us on the crappie after that, and then catfish that night.
All right.
I mean, yeah, he was the real deal. He really knew his area and his waters,
So is he a certified actual guide?
Yes.
Do you know the name of his fit?
Oh, Mikey is his name, and man, I follow him on Instagram and stuff, but I'd have to come up with his name though. Wasn't really thinking about him, but yeah, he's the man though. He's the man. He'll put you on some spoonbill.
I saw him on y'all's Snapchats, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy is, but I think he's a local,
Uh-huh.
and so I didn't hear all that. That now makes a lot more sense.
Oh yeah.
That's cool, man. How's your catfish season been so far?
Oh, well, I started out not very good because spring was kind of weird. Normally, you like it when it starts to get warm first, and then the water kind of creeps up, and that's your good spring fish, and that's when flathead things are running the banks and biting, and that's when you can set out your bank poles if you wanted or whatever, and catch a bunch.
Yeah.
And it just didn't quite happen that way here in our area, from what I could see. Last season was real good. This year, it was like the water came up and went back down before it ever got warm enough.
Yeah.
So the fish just kind of stayed away, and then, so that spring fishing was kind of a bust, and then ended up getting hot, real hot, to the point where is it even worth going out and fishing, especially if they're not biting, and they haven't really been biting for me very well this year. And then about a week ago, I got a guy who said, hey, the blues are off the spawn, caught a couple big ones that are beat up, and
Okay.
and they're out looking, and I was like, okay, cool. And never really got around to fishing, and then we had all this water,
Yeah.
and then me and Levi went yesterday for a couple hours, and we didn't get a bite.
Okay.
But I mean, with the water going up and down, just extremes, one or the other, it makes
Right.
it makes it hard, because the normal rule I like to go off of is when the water's low, fish deep. When the water's level's high,
Yeah.
fish shallow.
Yeah.
And kind of hard to go off that with these big surges, though.
Well, and that's, yeah, because I watch the river level in Hardin all the time, because I want to know if our river bottom farm is going to flood, or,
Uh-huh.
what to do out there. And these rains, it's coming up and going right back down.
Right.
It's coming up and going. So it's kind of hard to, usually if it comes up and kind of stays up for a minute, you can plan out, all right, let's go fishing on, whatever day.
Right.
But right now it's coming up and going down so fast that that's not real feasible.
No, you don't have a chance. By the time you get your boat and get out there, the water's going back down, and the fish are hiding back in the holes again. So.
Yeah, and then with the trash, all the logs and
Yeah,
stuff
now-
floating on top, it's
Makes a question: is it even fishable?
right.
Right.
Yeah, you can, usually after a couple days, it seems like it clears up a little bit. But
Uh-huh.
by then, the water's already down.
Yep.
And I was over at the cabins, and I ran into Tim Cat, and he's a wild man.
Yeah.
I was like, I was fishing. He's like, water's going down. It's about to be right where it needs to be. And I was kind of perplexed because I'm like, well, isn't it usually better when it's coming up? But he's there every day, so I think he's got to have his spots.
Oh yeah, he likes when the fish probably aren't moving as much and they're more pulled up in the areas, and he's got his spots that he knows for sure.
Which he might be the biggest contender this year with the World Catfishing Championship of the World.
Yeah, is he gonna be?
I hope so.
Is he in it every year? Or?
I don't know. He didn't do the stink bait challenge.
Yeah.
So
he might be saving out for the big one.
Hopefully, but I don't know. Has he been fishing into that, or is he like the OG that holds back?
I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. We usually start late and show up early. So.
I know, right? Dude. All right. Well, now that you're back, you kind of got your I guess your priorities all straight.
Yeah.
You're getting your fishing in. You've also been training a ton.
Yeah.
Kyle's he's an up and comer. You're an up and comer in the jiu-jitsu world, I would say.
Well, I mean
you've kind of overqualified yourself currently.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to compete for a little bit because some technicalities. But yeah, it's I just got my purple belt earlier this year, though. I do jiu-jitsu here at Head Nod in Jerseyville. We're right across from Farm and Home, right down the road from here where we're at now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're definitely one of the better jiu-jitsu schools in the area for sure, you know. And then our bigger sister gym is in Granite City. And so anytime that I need some extra time training, I'd go up there. But yeah, for the past year, I've kind of been focused on that because once I got back from the island, work wasn't real plentiful around here. And it was just kind of like I'd have to go stay in a Super 8 somewhere to work 40 hours a week. And I wasn't going to do that, you know. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to focus on my hobbies and stuff for a little while since I missed out the past few years.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, jiu-jitsu, catfishing, and that's about it. Been doing a little bit of tree work here and there.
Yeah.
Which, about to start my own tree service, as we've talked about.
Yeah. So it's happening right now. What name did you choose for it?
Yeah, it'd be K&J Tree Service.
Okay.
And, yeah, we're going to be working in Carrollton, Jerseyville, anywhere around the area pretty much. I worked for Nelson and Wright's Tree Service back when I was 20 years old. I think I worked there for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Did that, and I was a climber the whole time in backyards doing climbing. Started over here in Illinois, and then I went over to St. Louis and was in a lot bigger neighborhoods and stuff like that, working in backyards, doing a lot of climbing, and you know, decided I didn't want to go back to building power lines, and I wanted to do something where I could kind of work for myself, and you can't really build power lines for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be on a big crew. You got to be, it's a big operation, but
right.
I could do, you know, tree removals and tree trimming and, you know, anything like that I could do that and work for myself. And I've got plenty of friends who are wanting to work for me as climbers and work on the ground, dragging brush and things like that. So I think, I think we're pretty well good to go. I just got insurance all covered today, actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. First job I think will be Thursday. So
okay.
Yeah.
And you've absolutely been stockpiling equipment the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's went from a lot of just planning, buying.
Yes, right.
And now, yeah. So and the stump grinding, I've actually got probably 10 jobs lined up already, and the stump grinding sounds like it's a big deal because I don't know if every tree service offers stump grinding or not, and but I've had a lot of people get a hold of me about that, and I really like that job because it's going to be through the week. I would like it to be mostly just me working, maybe just my nephew helping out, and then on the weekends tackle the bigger jobs, bring the bucket truck out if we need it, and the chipper and everything, and have some climbers and hire a few more guys for the bigger jobs on the weekends. But during the week, though, I'll be able to do stump grinding and hauling wood and stuff like that by myself, and it'd be nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and you can come work with me anytime, of course.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yep, you can get the high branches and stuff.
I'm skilled at picking up heavy objects and reaching things up high.
Yep, there you go.
That's awesome, man. Well, I know you're going to do awesome with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're going to take another break, hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoors Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. With us, we have world catfishing champion of the world and owner of a new tree service here in Jerseyville, Kyle Neuhaus. Kyle, you know this, but I'm pretty ate up with the concept of Jiu-Jitsu, UFC, being a former wrestler. This stuff is right up in my alley. Tell us a little bit more about your tournaments and some of the stuff that you've been doing to compete.
Well, let's see. I started in high school with wrestling, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestled in high school and was upset I didn't start sooner, like everyone else. And then after high school, dabbled around in MMA a little bit. I was driving to Wood River, going to a gym called the Hit Squad. Nope, I was going to the War Room, and then there was a gym called the Hit Squad right down the road. They're kind of rivals, but I kind of went back and forth. Ended up more at the War Room, though. Okay. And it might still be hanging around. I couldn't tell you, but dabbled around there, and I got to see some of the guys I started training with go on to have good MMA careers, but ultimately I chose to go on to build power lines instead. I got
good choice.
Yeah, I got my first call on that, and was like, man, my mom would be disappointed if I turned this down. Yeah, because I have a fight coming up. So that was. I was like, all right, we're going to make the right call here. So I ended up taking the first apprenticeship offer I got and moved to Kansas City and did nothing physically, other than lifting weights until I was down on island in 2022, I believe. And that's when I came across a group of guys doing jiu-jitsu. And I wish I had found out about it sooner down there. That'd have been nice, but I'm glad I'd found out about it when I did. And these guys were talking about competing in a tournament called the Pan American Championship for the IBJJF, which is the bigger organization. Oh, yeah. And that would be in Florida. So they all wanted to do it. They do it every year. So I was a white belt and, thought I had a pretty good shot. My buddy, who looks like a slightly larger version of me, high school wrestler, same deal, Yeah. He was training as well. So I had someone, I think there's 4 of us going and competing. And then my coach was going and competing as well. So, we got to train hard and everything. I went, and my buddy won, made it look easy. I got whipped my first match. It was like a 30-man bracket probably, and I got whipped my first match. And this dude, I got beat 6-0, and he went on to submit everyone else and got first place. Okay. So I was like, oh, geez, worked pretty hard for that, Yeah. So I wanted that one back. That one really kind of got me upset. So we left the island, and I left the island and moved back to Lake of the Ozarks, started training full-time, and ended up competing in several tournaments, won a lot of the smaller ones and stuff. Ended up getting third in a ADCC, but ended up ultimately moving back to Carrollton, started training here in Jerseyville, and spent the past year and a half here training full-time, fishing, goofing off, whatever. Right.
So you went from a white to now a purple belt.
Yep.
In a series of what?
Probably maybe 2.5 years, 3 years. Yeah.
Right. Which, unbeknownst to really anybody's knowledge, you cannot compete now because you went through your blue belt too fast?
Yeah, they got the big tournament has a rule. The big organization has a rule that you're supposed to spend 2 years at each belt. And, the thing is it used to be they would send you a form. You would just write down and make 2 years, and you send it back in. They now do it all electronically. They keep track of that. Thank you, AI. And I'm the first victim to that I know of. So now I can't compete because I scooted through the belts a little too quick. So I've got to take this summer off. Basically, I've got to miss our Chicago Open. I got to miss the St. Louis Open.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool to defend your turf, But
right.
With this tree company and everything, I know that preparing for the tournaments would consume a lot of my time. So kind of looking at this as a blessing,
Well, that and wrestling trees is, got it similar to training for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I better be ready by next year. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. All right. And then with the tree service, with the jiu-jitsu, I guess there's really only one more thing to look forward to. That's defending our title at the World Catfishing Championship of the World.
Do we have a date?
I don't know. They were talking about it.
Okay.
I was down there a couple weeks ago. They were talking about it.
They're probably trying to feel you out for when you're busy.
I know, right? We're going to find out when we can't be there.
Yep.
So, hopefully it's not mid-August. We've got to find a better time of year anyways. Why are we doing this tournament when it's like not the best fishing? I mean,
I don't know. Hard to. When was it? Past couple of years.
It's usually been end of August, beginning of September.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I mean,
it'd be nice if it was like right now.
I wonder if we can do something about that.
Do it in the next couple,
We should get, what we should do is we should get Bub. We got to get Moose to get in this tournament somehow. And so we get Bub and Cody, Moose, and we should reach out and just have like a pre-fish tournament where we put some skin in the game and just see if we can walk away with some pre-tournament bragging rights, plant some seeds for crap talk. Something.
I'm down.
I want to do that with the birthday weekend, but Bub and those guys had some plans to go up to the Botel.
Mm-hmm.
And then, fortunately, I guess they made it back somehow without even getting wet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oof. He had messaged me. He was headed. They were back in Campsville by like 6. He said that they had run across a boat, had broke down with some kids on it, so they towed her. Bub, he's saving lives all over wherever he goes.
Oh, yeah.
But no, they towed some kids back. They stayed dry somehow. And, by the time would have been primetime fishing, we looked out and we realized we would have been all right this past weekend. But these storms rolling in, we knew that there was something going on.
Oh, yeah. Once the water hit, or once it hits the river, you never know what it's going to do. Either pop up or disappear.
Right. And as soon as you get out there and start, drowning some bait, that's when you get wet.
Yeah, it downpoured on me and Moose last night when we, right at the end of our trip, come out of nowhere and we're like, well, I guess we're done.
Yeah. I was headed over to Carrollton for dinner last night and at Lauren's parents. And I got up on top of the hill, Cole Hill there, and it just started pounding.
Oh, really?
And I got to Carrollton. Everything's fine. A little sprinkle. I don't know with this weather, man. So we got some catfish to catch. And then talk to me about your deer season. Where are you hunting this year?
Oh, I think me and Moose are going to be doing some food plots coming up.
Okay.
Probably there if I have it for whatever my deer season will be. I'm sure I'm going to be cutting a lot of trees and stuff, but definitely going to be squeezing in as much deer time as I can.
Oh yeah.
It ain't as good as my deer hunting hasn't been as good as I'd like it to be, but here in the next couple of years though, I'd like to get it lined back out.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can give you a hand. All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, and anybody wants some tree service work, how do they get a hold of you?
You can give me a call at my phone number, 217-248-9266, or you can look me up on Facebook, Kyle Neuhaus. It's Neuhaus. Yeah, and I'll have business cards and everything. Have a website here soon, but haven't even got to that part yet.
All right, man. Well, it's coming soon, and I'll say there's a hardworking man in front of me. Does a great job in a lot of facets of life. Definitely be someone that I would entrust to do some work around my home or in my community. So, thanks, man.
Yes, sir.